Hello and welcome to another episode of Don't Trust the Dungeon Master. My name is Alex K and I am the Dungeon Master. As you can see, we are eccentric and excited to once again be playing Dungeons and Dragons with each other in the world through Arkelya. Hooray!
Swizzle sticks.
I
missed you guys.
Swizzle sticks. We just learned what those were apparently.
What is a swizzle stick?
With that, last week we didn't play, so it has been 2 weeks since we kind of played with each other because last week was Emerald City Comic-Con, which is where Owl went off to.
It was so amazing.
Speaking of which, Owl, is there anything you'd like to share with us and the viewers? Any interesting things you saw or people you got to meet?
The Critical Role panel was amazing. Some good questions were asked, some really dumb questions were asked. There was a proposal, which was actually kind of cool. I got to meet Laura and Travis. We did a picture with them. It was amazing. I got to hug them. Yes, it was good.
Okay. Well.
Amira was there. Amira and my mom and her fiance were there. So it was good fun. It was a good time. I missed D&D, but it was fun.
We missed it too. And so in that regard, everyone else, how was your 2 weeks? How was Delmo's week? How was DTW's and Roderick's weeks?
Are we doing this in any order?
I'm
I'll
just asking
jump
a
back.
question.
It was great,
he's
but I
going.
bled money. It was great, but I bled money. It hurts. My wallet hurts, but I'm okay.
So we got a
Sure.
bleeder.
Yeah.
And how about
Everything
you, Delmo?
okay on this end?
All right.
Mine went alright. The dates for my move changed. 4 months from now instead of 2. I feel like there was something else I was gonna say, but I forgot about it completely.
All right.
Monster Hunter related.
Probably not.
Oh god.
I have it. I'm awesome. That's it.
What? Oh, okay.
Okay. I definitely missed the D&D, so glad you're back, Diamond Ranch. We're glad to be back to Diamond Ranch. All right, and hopefully tonight will be a
Good to
very
be
interesting
back.
episode. Tonight is episode 15, my lucky number. Let's live up to the expectations, everybody.
It's labeled
yeah.
on the screen, by the
Oh, we're
way.
totally living
Yeah,
up.
it's still 14. What's going on here?
We can't go down from where we are, right? Like we have a death. It's only up, right? I mean, unless everyone dies.
Unless more people die.
All right. I guess that's really kind of all for our announcements. Tonight, I guess I should say that tonight might be probably will be a shorter night because we know Roderick has got a shindig to go to, so we're gonna have to try to speed up and maybe not speed up, but not be complacent.
Decisive.
Maybe
Yeah.
the shindig will have some
It's
swizzle
like-
sticks.
We can kind of keep ourselves on point there. That's everything I got. And there's anything else anyone else wishes to state? No? All right, cool.
Thanks for your patience. We love you all.
We're back, baby.
Okay. Oh, you're right. It is still saying 14. Thank you. I always forget to actually update my stream. I literally do.
Ay, ay, ay.
Ay, ay,
What?
And it's your lucky number and you still forgot? Man.
Well, it's not really a high priority to actually make the Twitch stream list the right thing because when I put it on YouTube, it's right. Anyways, it's now saying 15.
Right.
But thank you for the catch, Mike. Good man. All right, so we will now then resume where we last left off in the last episode of Don't Trust the Dungeon Master. So you guys were exploring the Medan Mines at the request of High King Landry and Highsworn, as they were going to send an army of dwarves into the Medan Mines to try to resecure it, and you guys were being sent off as a scouting party. You ran into another scouting party, a Pathfinder unit of dwarves, which were being attacked by bats. You fought beasts and other weird creatures, alien-like shadow lurkers that were patrolling through the areas. You found ancient abandoned temples, and then you soon learned that, or at least theorized, that these temples were actually part of a very big ritual to revive a very ancient and long deceased entity named Saaroth. You guys recognize that if Saaroth were to be revived, it would bring cataclysm across the entire continent of Yes, continent of Estrin. Jeez. And so you made plans, or strategized at least, to attempted ways to try to prevent this from happening. And unfortunately, the best plan you guys could come up with was to run into the ritual room and attack the supposed angel that was performing the ritual. And that's what you guys did. You marched your way down to the very center of the Agnir pits, where you eventually entered the large cylinder-like room with the Agnir plate on top. And unfortunately, you arrived just a little too late, as you guys piled in, did the angel in front of you complete the ritual, and Saaroth once again breathed. Now, lucky for you, though, the angel did not participate in the combat that you guys soon had with Saaroth. Instead, the angel and Saaroth conversed for a short period of time, where then a portal was opened by Saaroth, which the angel then built some kind of magical box around and walked into that area. At this moment, Saaroth then very easily noticed you all from his natural 20, and you guys entered combat, soon realizing that you could not flee from this encounter, as giant plumes and columns of water were just falling down from the heavens above, preventing you from escaping, as well as forcing you all towards the middle of the chamber. You guys soon realized that you did not have much time before the entire room itself would be flooded with this dark black water. In the very beginning of the fight, it seemed like Saaroth was almost toying with you, not really unleashing his full capabilities, but the longer the fight went on, the more and more desperate he seemed to get, and the more powerful his attacks became. Doing psychic slashes that made compressed air strike down to the water and cutting it and parting it into two, to lifting you guys up and trying to just destroy your brains through pure pressure. You guys eventually had the giant pool of water enter into a torrent or a whirlpool, where effectively it was more or less immobilized you all. And during the course of this entire good 30 to 40 second array of fighting, Duro was eventually rendered unconscious. The rest of you all, Evelyn and Aniel, being picked up to be the next two victims, were about to be crushed when you guys heard the voice of the angel that brought Saaroth back to life, more or less tell him he shouldn't have gotten in his way, and then proceeded to totally wreck the crap out of Saaroth by more or less making his cheek become a black hole. Saaroth ceased to exist within less than 3 seconds, and the entire giant pool of water that you were in quickly receded down to the floor. The giant whirlpool motion still continuing as that momentum came around with you, and you guys, as you impacted the ground, were scattered to various corners within the large corridor. It's at this moment that you all recognized, or those of you that were still conscious, recognized that the angel that just annihilated Saaroth glided down to the very center of the room and then just started making his way out. You noticed that he had some sort of weird alienish-like weapon that he was wielding, about a 10-foot long, white, bony-looking spear that had some kind of veins on it, and it looked like it had a chamber near the head of the weapon that had a pulsing, almost heart-rhythmic situation. The angel never once looked at any of you, and you got the notion that he just is so far ahead of you that you are like insects to him, and he doesn't even recognize your existence. And then he left. At this point, Roderick, about 10 seconds or so later, saw Duro's unmoving corpse in the other corner and rushed over there to check on his dwarf companion. Aniel, Evelyn, and Doma, seeing Roderick run over there, triangulated and tried to run off in that direction as well. Roderick, you were the first one to arrive to Duro's body, and quickly found out that Duro was unfortunately no longer part of this world. You still tried to resuscitate him to the best of your ability when the rest of the group kind of caught up to you, and then they soon learned the fate of what became of Duro. You guys then spent a good couple dozen minutes just absorbing the facts as they laid out in front of you. Duro was no more, you barely lived yourselves, and here you are still in a potentially really dangerous area still, incredibly exhausted and fatigued. And you started strategizing as some of you were gathering the scattered belongings of Duro. Some of you were cleaning Duro's body back up. Others of you were strategizing as maybe there's a way to save him. And that's kind of where you guys last left off. Here you are in the very center of the Agnir mines with this giant green crystalline structure up along the ceiling above you that still provides illumination. into this very large corridor. You can see the shattered remnants of these Agnir pylons that used to be out on the outskirts of the circle, becoming like almost like glass, or even in some cases very fine sand that just been scattered and strewn around the room. You see this kind of really intricate pattern of mud kind of splashed off in a circular pattern along the ground, surmising that the whirlpool effect kind of scattered it in that direction. But you see no signs of Saaroth. No, none of his blood, none of his bones, none of it. All of it's gone. And here you four are with a dead corpse that is currently being magically augmented to prevent decay.
So, I believe we were going to try and take him to one of the temples, see if we can use those in some way, or bring him back to Medan. Is that the plan?
Well,
It'll have to be. I as much as I want to keep pressing forward, I don't think we could with,
Aniel, how long did you say that spell would help us?
You mean the spell for preventing Duro's?
Yes.
About a week and a half. It's not a large amount of time. But it's some time, I guess.
Hopefully it'll be enough.
Can you redo the spell once it fades?
There's nothing that says it couldn't work, but
I just don't know.
I've never actually have tried to prolong decay, really.
Right.
we should be able to get back before then, shouldn't we?
Well,
Don't let it get to your head. Just keep playing, guys. You're here to have fun. If the viewers are having fun, great. Don't try to tailor it to them or anything, alright? Let's just keep staying in character here. Because this entire game was meant to be just us having fun, and we were streaming it for the few people who are watching. So, hey, 12 people, hi! But we're going to keep playing our game. So,
whatever.
Well, should we try and take him to the main temple first? The one we couldn't get in before.
Yeah, but first we should kind of
you mean the temples with the necromantic? Those temples?
Yeah.
What do you think that will do?
It brought back Saaroth. Why can't it bring back him?
Whatever ritual this clown just did brought Saaroth back. And how many of those things did he kill to do it? There was... How many in here? There was thousands in here. Wasn't there? Like 1,000 in here?
But that was Saaroth. This is Duro the Dwarf. Alright. I mean, it's an option if you really want to just go back to Medan.
Well...
I mean, we should probably consider any avenue, really. But I don't know how they harness the energy of the temple to do what they did.
Exactly.
I mean, I would have to spend time trying to study it, and I can't guarantee that I can even... And then Aniel just trails off as she just stares at the ground.
So the main two options that I'm seeing right now are try to go back to Medan, or try to keep moving forward to the next eventual city that they have down here. I guess there's no certainty that anyone's going to be there.
But I imagine we're probably closer to that than going back to Medan.
It's possible.
I know, and I'm not trying to upset anyone, but I can try to resuscitate him.
Do you need to rest first?
If you try, Aniel, how much risk is it to you? It nearly killed us. Killed you, bringing all of us back. What happens if you try it again?
I'm not fully certain, but I don't see why I don't see there'd be terrible harm in it.
Insight.
Would it be
Go
possible?
ahead and roll
we can-
insight.
Oh. Meanwhile, would it be possible for us to help in any way?
Well,
Right.
yes.
Ease the burden.
To bring someone's soul back in their body, we have to entice it to come back from the afterlife. And having
'Cause he may
strong
not come
connections
back.
and bonds with the individual significantly increases the chances of us succeeding.
That's
She's
why I
lying
didn't
through her teeth. You can
say-
easily tell that she is probably and going to be in very big danger if she tried to bring them back through her normal means in their current state.
That's what I figured. She just
That's
wants to
why
try.
I didn't help with Roderick's restoration or whatever that ritual was, because you said it needed people that knew him.
I'm sorry, what ritual are you talking about?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It was the you we met before you.
The mimic, Aniel. She cast a ritual that involved your matron that brought
Great matron.
Roderick back. Whoever she was.
But it worked.
And he actually came back.
He came back.
I'm here.
I'm not sure how that came to be, but I'm glad you're back. Or here, I should say.
Now, I understand the enticing the soul part, but I'm asking if we can contribute anything further.
To ease the burden on you.
Yeah.
If we have part of you in us, does that help us help you?
And she seems like she's trying to like rationalize it. And it's like a sigh. I don't know. I kind of stated this before. This has never been. What I did's never been done. It was sacrilege. I don't know what will become of me or what happens to you or any of it.
Do I actually feel different from before when the ritual happened?
Do you feel different? I mean, no. I mean, besides the fact that you got this giant scar across your chest now, right? And that, you got your butt super kicked in and you came back from, nearly dying. I mean, you don't really notice a difference in you. Things seem to be rationally of what you would expect in this circumstance. Like if you were killed and brought back, you would think that you'd have some aches and pains kind of thing.
Aniel, do you feel any different thinking about that?
Any different about what
Like,
do you?
do you feel stronger or so? Because you said part of you was in us with Duro.
Did it come back?
Passing, did that come back?
No, I don't feel any different.
Oh boy.
It's just an option. And she like kind of tries to look you in the eyes for a brief moment, but then quickly looks away from you, Doma. Just want to make sure we have every option available to us.
I agree.
It's an option I'm not really willing to consider though. I know it's a lot more risk than you're saying.
Well, for now, let's just kind of bunker down here for a little bit.
Get some rest.
Do you think we're safe in here?
I think nowhere's
Safer
safe
than
in
out
this
there.
bloody mine.
You said the ceiling was less green glowy, right? It was like dimmer than before.
It does seem to be a little bit more dreary in here, and a little bit more dark.
But there's still a kind of glow.
Oh yeah,
right?
it's still it still is. It would still be producing dim light. It was producing dim light originally, but it just seems
Right.
slightly less bright in this
And
area.
the where the portal was, there's nothing there now.
Make a perception check.
Some of that fancy metal still there? That's the only question.
20.
20.
Unnatural.
So as you kind of like
Dang.
glance out into the room to look out to where the giant metal box of sorts was, you do see indentation along in the ground, in the mud, of what appears to be a giant rectangle. That doesn't seem to be much else to it. So there was definitely some weight to that thing, pushing down the ground. But there's no lingering portal, there's no mist from wherever it was out to, and there is no box there anymore.
Okay.
How far away from that is this an accurate map right now? Box was
I
over
mean, this
here,
this
right?
is approximation, right? Because map is never to scale. But it was somewhere in the ballpark of potentially 300 feet away, from the corner you're in now, from being scattered to all the way towards the box. It's 300ish feet. We could say 250 if you want to be more conservative, or in your favor, I guess. If we're going to rest, should we keep watch at least one still?
Probably. I don't see him coming back here. We
I don't.
didn't even
I
seem
honestly.
He
to
got what he wanted.
notice us.
Whatever
Yeah.
that staff was.
Right.
By the way, Daniel, did you recognize that thing?
I didn't actually see.
Wait. Alright. So, Levolt, or who we think is Levolt, resurrected the big guy, the Saaroth, whatever his name is,
To open a door to meet
to
someone
open
else.
a door for him to go into.
But that shouldn't be that. They can't do that.
Why couldn't he have opened the door? Why did he have to res Saaroth to open the door, and then he just kills him afterwards? It does.
It must have been because it wasn't magic that he used, or at least it sure didn't seem like it. It looked more like psychic that Saaroth was using, as well as magic.
But
Maybe
where did
that's
the portal
key to
go?
open it.
That's what I'm wondering.
I have no idea what was in that portal.
Could it have been the
I think
far
I have
realm
an
where these
idea.
things came from?
I think I have somewhat of an idea.
You do?
It's more like a shot in the dark, but
Does it have to do with?
mm-hmm.
Oh, okay then. Yeah, I think we should keep watch.
It's not going to be one at a time, though.
Who's doing the best at the moment?
I'm alright.
I'm
pretty
I'm
hurt.
not.
I'm pretty good as well.
I'll be able to keep watch at least.
If you're going to stay up first, Doma, then let me. And she's going to like clutch her hand in a fist like over her heart as she closes her eyes, and you see some kind of like radiant energy going around her as she tries to do. Yeah, she succeeds. Wow, man, she has not failed in a while. All right, that's 40. Doma, what is your current HP?
13.
13. And what's your max HP?
After the level up or before?
After the level up, you do get a count.
68 is my max.
68. All right, so you are at 14 currently. You said
13.
13. Okay, so you can heal up to half your max HP. So 34. So You heal 14 HP. Nope, I'm doing math terribly. God
Do
damn
I
it.
have 34 health?
You go up to heal up to half, basically. Yeah, 34. Gosh dang it. That's 21 HP. She has a remainder of... Can I do math correctly in my head for FFS? 40. So you choose 21. So she has an additional 19 left to give. Who's going to be second watch?
Roderick.
I'll
Roderick?
do it. Yeah.
All right, Roderick, what's half of your max HP?
Actually, I mean, half my max would be 21.5.
1.5. Okay. And what's your current HP, my man?
So he's
Do we
already
how
above.
do we factor in the level up?
That is considered part of your max HP now.
Okay, so because
Oh.
I had 27 going out of that fight.
Yeah, but so when you level up, then your
43,
health
so
did not go up when you leveled up. It stayed where it is. Your maximum increased.
Okay, I'm missing 16 health.
Okay, so I don't think you can be healed then. Okay, at all. So then, Evelyn, you can heal. What's your current HP and what's your half of your max HP?
10 is what I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
And half of mine would be... I'm bad at math. 58 divided by 2.
58 divided by 2, 24.
Yeah.
So you can heal 14. Yeah, let's do that. All right, so you can get back to half HP. Evelyn, Doma can get back to half HP. And I guess I'll give the last 5 HP to Aniel. So you guys see her burn channel divinity, preserve life. And you guys get healed at that point. And as long as I remember the spell correctly, that's what it should have done. And now I'm doubting myself. And this is... I know this, and yet I feel like I did it wrong. Gosh dang.
Poor Laris.
You
is
guys
this
can
deck?
continue while I
Wait,
list.
half mine is 29. Not 24. But
Oh,
I'll take
58?
24.
Sorry.
fine.
Well, shoot. I already gave her 5, so just
Yeah,
heal.
that's fine. I'll take 24. I'll be
Yeah.
at 24. That's fine.
Sorry.
No, I was sitting here going in my head. I was like, wait a minute.
And then
All good.
number of hit points equal to 5. No, I did do it right. Okay. Yep. Sweet. Hey. All right. So those people heal, and Aniel just leans against like some Agnir behind her and just eventually dozes off.
Alright then. I'll take first watch.
All right, be right behind you. Just wake me up.
Yep.
And Roger would roll out his bag and.
As you like roll out your bag, you just have water kind of like seeping out of your bag. Even though it's been like 20 minutes, you're just soaked. Even your clothes are still damp, but like your bag, as you like open it up, you literally see like puddles in your bag. And like, oh my gosh, you kind of like tilt to the side and water floods out and lands against the ground.
Is it still black?
Oh, yes. I wanted to make you roll, but I'm like, what am I gaining out of this? Yes, it's black.
What color is this water? I
Yeah,
can't quite see.
it looked the same as the water from Saaroth's fight.
Alright, I'm gonna collect some of the vial of whatever's in my bag.
As you look in your bag, there is some in there. You have to get a vial to collect it. Do you have a vial to use it, sir? To do that?
Well, as far as I know, I have an empty, or like 3 empty health potions.
Okay, so then you uncork one of them and you try to fill it up, and it only fills it up about halfway. And as you like look at this black liquid, kind of like pull up the little vial up towards like the green light above, it seems a little bit more transparent than it did when there was a huge volume of it. So you recognize that there's some consistency of something in it that blocks, but in the small amount you have, it's not really being as opaque as you kind of thought it was originally. But it is pretty dark for sure. The rest of the water in your sack kind of just like spilled out against the ground. You couldn't collect it.
That's fine. So I have half a small health potion or something?
It's just a vial, half a vial of Saaroth black water. Oh gosh.
Jesus.
No, he's gonna make weight for that too.
Gain another 5 pounds of weight.
Shit.
Evelyn, are you going to go to sleep?
Yeah, I'm going to bed.
Okay.
By the way, does this smell like normal water? Since it's everywhere.
Make a perception check, buddy.
What did he do to us? I'm kind of questioning this water.
You got slimed.
I did, and that's my usual perception check.
So it's
You
terrible.
got a 4?
Let's minus a 1 from that.
Oh.
Right,
Yeah,
what'd you have?
An 8.
Alright. You try to smell it, and you can't really smell any difference from it than like just the environment around you. It all just smells kind of almost like the sea. It smells dusky-ish in here, I guess. Gosh, that's a terrible term to use, but that's what I'm going with.
Alright.
Dusky-ish.
So now, Doma, I do need you to make a concentration check. I'm sorry, Constitution saving throw.
I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, please make a Constitution saving throw. I'm sorry, totally the wrong thing. It's actually the same exact thing, but whatever.
Oh, that was almost the 2, but it's 7 plus 7.
14.
Yeah.
All right, so Doma, as you try to hold on after being like through the ordeal you just went through, you find yourself like nodding off. Actually, about an hour into your shift.
As soon as that happens, I would get up and start walking around.
All right, so you start walking around. Is there anywhere you'd like to go inside the chamber?
Well, I want to check out where the giant door was, but it's too far away from the group if anything happens. So I'd just kind of wander around, inspect the Agnir.
Okay, so you
Anything interesting in the area?
make an investigation check.
Oh boy. That's a +1 instead of a -1. Hey, 15.
Okay, so as you like look around the Agnir, there are definitely broken pieces of Agnir along the ground, and you notice something odd. So about some of the fragments, it looks like some of the fragments actually have kept their magical charge, even though they've clearly have been splintered off of a previous source.
Do the breaks on those one looks any different from like the ones that don't keep it?
They look effectively identical. You have no deduction of why these ones have kept it versus the others. Not with a 15, unfortunately.
That's fine. How big are these things?
The ones that keep the charge, they can vary in size. The biggest chunk you find is about 5 pounds. The smallest chunk you find is about a 2-pound chunk.
Take that 5-pound chunk.
All right,
We
so
have
you
a mission.
add another 5 pounds. To your
That's fine.
Oh.
We're really close, but that's something we were doing.
All right, and so after poking around a bit, your other hour goes by, and nothing ever kind of registers as a danger. And
Of course it doesn't. Not with that passive.
2 hours have gone by.
Well, I did my duty of checking around. I go over and I poke Roderick.
Roderick,
Hey,
you're
buddy.
woken up.
It's your turn.
Doma, why are you poking me?
Because it's your turn.
You can nudge me, hit me, but poking?
It's better than kicking, isn't it?
Oh, you're right, I suppose. Alright. Roger,
Alright.
get up and stretch out a little bit.
All right.
Anything out of the ordinary?
Well, apparently the water's still black. That's lovely. I would suggest not drinking it. There's still useful pieces of Agnir around. Try and keep yourself busy. If you feel tired. That's what I did. And as you look at Doma, he's looking pretty fucking exhausted.
Sorry, get some rest, pal.
Alright. See you later. Pulls out his bedroll.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's probably soaked. And goes to bed.
Yep. Do you actually slowly go into the bedroll or just lay on top of it?
I'm laying on top of it.
Yeah, okay. It's like you just lay down and you hear like a it's like the fluid kind of gets squished around. And
Better than
you just
sleeping
feel
on
like
rock.
kind of absorbing up to the little bit of cloth you had that was kind of drying off at this point. It gets wet again. You're like, you shuffle around a little bit on the bag. It's not a very pleasurable experience. You probably should have run it out and let it dry as you waited the 2 hours. All right, Roderick. So your passive
my spell
perception of
slots.
15, my good sir.
That's my
Your
spell
spell
slots real
slots.
quick.
Your spell slots?
Yeah.
Man, gosh dang it.
That was 2 hours. He gets him back.
No, because it's a long rest is not the same as a short rest. You do a short rest or you do a long rest.
I thought he got. Oh yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let that
Okay.
exploitation go through.
Yeah.
I mean, technically you are relaxing, so you should kind of trigger it. But then, I mean, no wait, yeah. I think the rule I decided before is if you wanted to do that, you could do the short rest requirement, but then you have to reset the long rest completely. Is what I told for you. So it's your choice, my man. If you want to use the 2 hours and made that have been a short rest, sure. But then you have to do a whole new long rest from scratch.
Nah. Let's
Just sleep.
just stay awake, you know.
All right. So during your shift, your eyes like consistently, you find them like looking at Duro's unmoving body, and you keep like regaling like the moment you ran up to him, and then the moment that time slowed down, and what Elrenel, was it Elrenel? Elrian, gosh, can't even remember the name. Elrian, the offer he offered presented to you, and then you declined, and you just kind of run through your head like, what would have happened differently? And before you know it, your 2 hours have gone by, and nothing's come up, but you just kept this like circular motion of thinking of like, well, maybe if I did things differently, or maybe if I cast fly in the fight, maybe I could have saved him. So you're just kind of like nitpicking yourself, trying to see like there had to have been a way, and yet you're just not really coming up with a good solution. So 2 hours have gone by.
Alright, well, we would go over and gently nudge Evelyn. Hey.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anything happen?
No, it's been pretty quiet out here.
Are you okay?
Yeah. I'll be fine. Oh.
You should get some sleep.
Yeah. Thanks for the John. Okay. And he will go back to his bedroll.
All right.
See you shortly.
As you lie down on your bed.
Oh, dang.
it's damper. It's not as wet, but it's still is wet. So, all right, Evelyn, and now you're alone in the environment. Anything you'd like to do?
Just want to sit by Duro.
Okay. You guys have laid him facing up towards the ceiling. His eyes are closed. The heal that Aniel threw on him after he passed did heal some of those wounds. There are a little bit of nicks and scrapes across his face and such, but overall he looks oddly more whole than what you would expect, and yet he's not moving, not talking, not breathing, and just that there's this disconnect and discontentness that he's just not animated when every living thing normally is animated, and that's just very troubling to you. It reminds you of other potential non-animated bodies you've seen. 2 hours go by and nothing happens. Did you want to wake anyone else up? Or did you want to go for 4 hours?
I'll do all 4.
Okay. Can you roll me, please, a perception check?
Those things are still a thing.
Did I hear a quack?
It's possible.
13.
Over the course of the next 2 hours, nothing else happens, and you eventually recognize that 8 hours have transpired if everyone held their shift true, and you
I'd
feel
like to do
rejuvenated
one-
yourself. Spell slots
I'll just do one
restored,
thing.
half hit dice restored, max HP reset, magical items reset. Your long rest has been fulfilled, everybody. Unfortunately,
I
Duro,
am
does nothing for you.
gonna do something first before I wake everyone else up. I want to druid craft a good berry, like a wooden version, I guess, of it,
Okay.
and I just want to tuck it into one of Duro's pockets.
And no one stops you as you're the only one that's awake.
I'd be more confused than try and stop her.
And then I wake everyone up.
Okay. Everyone, you are eventually woken up by Evelyn. And you recognize that you're still in this very, very deep down in the mine in the Medan Mountains with the Agnir crystal above you. And there's still Duro's non-moving body next to you. Still dead. And then, you know, there was that hope, right? That, you know, you would wake up and he would be back. But it didn't happen. He's not there. He's gone. As far as your clothes, the clothes are pretty much dry at this point, as are your sacks. So you wring your bags out, you eat rations, get yourself kind of situated again. It's a pretty quiet intro for most of you as you're just kind of mulling about. Not much is really immediately said. Everyone's just kind of still almost in disbelief of what has happened. But now the floor is yours. What would you like to do?
Let's try a sending spell.
The Agnir is much weaker.
2.
Let's go with our tried and true, our trusty and most favorite. No, Relina. Yep.
Alright. What do you want to say to Relina?
Hey, Relina, if you get this, please just reply. It'll mean the world. And that'll be it for right now.
6 seconds go by. 12 seconds go by. 18 seconds go by. 24 seconds go by. A whole minute goes by and there's no reply.
Damn minds.
Damn Agnir. Well, we should figure out how we're gonna do this.
Are we going to the temples? Are we going to the other side of Medan? Or are we going back?
I think we should keep moving forward, but that's just my gut instinct.
We never did find that one temple.
Maybe that's closer to where we need to go.
How close is that temple from where we walked? You said it was a couple hours down that path, right?
You gotta be more specific. What one temple, man?
The one temple we just came from to come into here.
Yeah, that was a 4 or 5 hour walk. So it'd be 4
Does
to
it
5
look like
hours
there's-
back. So as you guys look around your immediate surroundings, there are 2 known entrances and exits to the current place you're in. There is the cliff that's about 150 feet tall, and you still see that a large amount of the Agnir that's over on this cliff is still sharp and jagged, pointing upwards, kind of like razor blades built into the wall. It's 150 feet tall. That is technically an exit that you could pursue. That's where you fought the Earth Elemental being enslaved by Shadow Lurker Harbingers. And then the other option is the route that you took, which is a 5 hour walk back to the third temple that you guys saw, which would be This guy right down here. So those are the 2 known exits in this room that you can see right now.
2 known exits. Are there any other obvious exits that I can just see?
Nope.
Do you guys, before we leave, do you want to check out more of the room?
I do.
Yeah, we should.
All right, let's go.
All right, so you guys start exploring the other room, and what are you just randomly poking around looking for stuff?
I want to search
Go
the
by the
door
box.
area. I want to divine sense it.
So Doma, you go over towards the box, so you use Divine Sense. Evelyn, I guess, follows with you.
So does Roderick. Oh, God.
Aniel says that
Conventions
she'll
the
stay with
box.
Duro's body while you guys go looking
Oh
around.
my.
So, Evelyn, Doma, Roderick, go ahead and make investigation checks.
Make a perception investigation.
It's an investigation.
I like it.
Nope.
Nope.
25.
25.
Oh,
All right.
good job, Petite.
So Doma and Owl, you guys are like looking around, and like Doma's like kicking random blotches of mud, and kind of somebody
distracted.
gets smeared on your boot, and you're like, ugh. So you like try to wipe it against more mud, and now your boot's even more mud, and you're like, oh fuck, and so you just surrender to the fate of having muddy boots. Evelyn, you witnessed Doma do this, so you have the wisdom of not even messing around. You just kind of stay back, and nothing seems to really be more enticing besides what was already described to you, this like etched, like box-like pattern into the mud itself. Roderick, with your 25, you notice something odd about this space over here. The dimensions of the box, you can clearly tell like the rough dimensions of how big the box was because of the indentation in the ground. Good job, babe. It's a good probably 30 feet wide, and probably an approximation of around 50 feet long. You recall the height was probably in the ballpark of like 100-ish feet tall, from what you witnessed during the fight itself. But as you like look in the environment around here, you notice that, and this is kind of to be expected, that there's not as much tribulation along the dirt in this area, because obviously the box is probably shelved in it. But there is still some signs of tribulation, potentially when the box was destroyed or removed or dispelled or whatever the fuck happened to it. But you also notice some footprints. You see 2 footprints of a humanoid amidst the mud, and then you see what appears to be a very large indent along the ground that no one else seems to be paying attention to. But looks like it's about 15 feet long. Takes up a good portion, and it's near the. If you're facing towards where the box was, so we're right here. Let's actually just do a quick drawing of it. The box is like this. There's like an indentation around over here, along the ground.
And the and would the human footprints be around?
Humanoid footprints are roughly like right here.
Hey, everyone, guys, come here. Come here and look at this.
I go over there and look at that.
All right, so he
Yeah.
starts gesturing to mud, and
gonna
from
point.
your perspective, it's mud. Mr.
Some nice
Mr.
mud you got
3.
there, buddy. Some nice mud.
No. Look at it closely.
I look
Yeah,
at it
well.
closely.
It's more
we
mud.
got-
I don't know.
we
Yeah,
got
you see
closer.
the indent. All right. Let's get this going.
Does it have any particular shape other than circular?
It just looks like it's an indent. You don't really recognize what it belongs to. Yeah, no, unfortunately not with what you guys were given, even with him pointing out to you. Roderick, you don't even you don't really see the signs of what this entity was, but just it was a very large, heavy object or something, an entity or creature or something like that, that was just there, that clearly was pressing down on the ground.
Let's open
Could
that
we
divine
infer that?
sense. Like I said, it was
Yeah,
going to.
divine sense. All right, buddy, make your Constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you don't make a Constitution saving throw divine sense. You just make a charisma check, right? You just roll a d20 at charisma. Because it only lasts
Sure.
6 seconds anyways.
13.
13. You try to detect the odors of any undead, celestial.
I want to focus it in on that ground specifically if I can. Is it
Nope, it doesn't work
desecrated
that way.
or-
It doesn't work that way. Anything within 60
Stupid
feet.
sense.
You're within 60 feet. And you don't sense consecrated or desecrated ground. Your spell
Alright.
returns nothing to you. Or your feature returns nothing to you, I should say.
This is probably where they actually talked with each other. So maybe.
Him and who? That's the real question.
I can't tell what it was.
Or what. But
We should probably try to get moving.
Yeah.
So you guys make your way back?
All
Alright. Make your way back. I don't know why I moved your tokens. Alright. What do
Ross
you...
would go a bit further past it, see if there's anything along the wall.
You're right, so you make your way along the wall, looking for anything that may stand out. Make an investigation roll.
Oh, not the 25. Feels bad.
Aw, 17.
As you're like poking around, you don't really see anything that's along the Agnir, like past the Agnir boundary. It's just a bunch of destroyed chunks of Agnir. As Doma pointed out, there's fragments that seem to still have flowing magic still in it. You find varying sizes from anywhere from like 2 pounds up to potentially even 8 to 10 pound chunks of Agnir. And then, of course, there is discharged Agnir, too. A plethora of that, of varying sizes as well.
Gonna see if we can take like 2 of the 4 pound, two of the 2 pound one.
All right, you're going to take 4 pounds of Agnir. Got it.
Yes, there you go.
Cool. All right, so you've looted some Agnir. And, other than that, you guys regroup. So you make your way back to Aniel, who... it's just with Duro's body. Did you
Aniel,
find anything?
do you think you could?
Do I think I could what?
I don't.
Looks
I
like
was wondering
something
if you
came
could
out of the gate.
channel the spell through the Agnir. I wonder if that would help. But I don't know.
I'm not
Could be some kind of
familiar
conduit,
with
you know.
the substance. I don't know what it would do or not do. I can give it a shot.
I would say there would have to be some kind of conduit, like the temple, that changes it from sporadic everything to just.
Isn't it when you
Bring it
charge
back.
it? Isn't
I think you just charge it with whatever
Yeah.
you.
Need a piece of Agnir.
it'll change the properties to whatever it is.
Well, every time I've ever sensed Agnir, it sure feels like a lot of everything.
Yeah, until spell slots.
I just had a really bad idea, but I'm not gonna do it.
Alright.
just puts a spell into an Agnir real quick.
See, that's
I was
exactly what I was
gonna-
thinking. That's why I said
I was
took
gonna
my spell
try to
slots.
channel light into one and see what happened, but
It explodes.
yeah, maybe we should just get moving, I guess.
It's a potentially unknown substance to me. I don't know what would happen with it either. based off of what was her name, Elsie, was saying, I can't surmise that us experimenting with it would be a very wise action.
Right.
Probably not.
They did mention that there was a history of problems with the substance.
Well, it's
It's not exactly good for the human body either.
So
I'll
should
just
we
keep
head
some,
back?
so.
We've only have a certain duration. And actually, I mean, head where, actually, I guess is the other.
Yeah. It's either back or forwards or to one of the
I
temples.
say forward.
Well, technically, if there's no other way out of the room, we have to go back and to find a way forward.
Evelyn, would it be possible for you to take Daryl's body up on that cliff face there? Like, is that?
Why are we going that way?
Do you want to have to deal with those elementals again?
Oh.
We don't know what happened to them.
Wow.
Could be free now.
Yeah, but just because they're free doesn't mean they won't attack us.
It's true.
As there could be other dangers in the area, too.
Either way, we're gonna face something. Sure.
Wish I knew. It wouldn't matter anyway. Never mind. Nothing I think of is good. Or good enough. I can dimension door him 500 feet. I can do it twice. That's about it.
Mm-hmm.
How tall is that cliff face?
150 feet up.
It's a climb for the rest of us.
I mean, I don't think we should be scaling that. I mean,
No.
Or we can fly.
yeah.
That's an option too.
Yeah.
True. I was debating if fly would work on him to make him a little bit easier to maneuver, but I don't know if it'll work.
You know it wouldn't.
Yeah.
Cruncher has to be cognitive for the fly spell to actually
That's what I figured.
work on it.
Wait, so Roger
It takes
casts
them
spells
actually
automatically
to
at a higher
think
level,
like,
right?
I want to move forward for them to be propelled forward.
Right. And that's kind of what I figured.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aniel, are you able to fly still, Aniel? On your own, or?
And she like looks at her plumage and does not look very good. You see definitely like holes of where there. You can surmise yourself that she probably cannot fly, and she then looks at you and just shakes her head left to right. I don't think I can right now.
Okay.
So it's
Should
the long
we-
path?
Do what we did with Aniel and tie him to a bedroll and just kind of pull him along with us.
So this is actually a good time to talk about that weight that I calculated for all of y'all.
Oh boy.
Which was very kindly by your DM rewarded to you all instead of you doing it. That there is a max amount of weight you can carry without being encumbered, which slows you down dramatically. And so
Does not slow me down.
your best yeah, I guess that's true. Fuck those boots. Ah!
It does not slow me down, Lairs.
All right, let's look for some technicalities here. DM moment.
Let's look at those boots real quick.
All right,
Here you go,
let's-
Lairs. It's on the table right here.
I'm gonna make sure because that's kind of an extreme thing.
You wrote this out yourself.
Apparently I did. I need to find strength and weight. So first of all, gosh dang, that's stupid.
Your speed isn't reduced if you are encumbered or wearing heavy armor.
Oh, okay. You know what? You could. There are going to be consequences, my good sir, though.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be sore as fuck.
So you may
I have,
do
like,
it. You may
disadvantage
do
on
it. You may
fighting.
champion if you want, but it's gonna be very exerting on you.
What's with this guy and making us champion things?
Well,
Champion the Kodal, champion the dead body, champion this.
I'm not making you champion.
all right,
man.
all right. Evelyn, if you can get Duro up there, I'll get everybody else up there. It may just take an extra hour.
If we go that route, are we trying to head back to Medan?
No, we're trying to head forwards or back. We
We
want
need
to
to go
forward.
forward. Is that
That
the
route,
only way
we can go
forward?
either
Is back
way, though.
down?
So we don't know it's that direction. We kind of skipped and went this way. In fact, we don't even know where we are in terms of the other side.
This is true.
But
Well,
on the other hand, it's to explore paths we haven't explored yet to get there.
yeah, I think we need to keep moving forward. I don't think we should try to go back to Medan. I don't think that that's an option at this point. But it's up to
Then-
the group, whatever the group wants.
I'm fine with heading forwards to the unknown. At this point,
So do we
Yes,
want to stay
but-
down here, or do you want to
Yeah.
go back up?
Either way, we
up
can
is
still head to the same
backwards, right?
direction. It's the same
Can we?
direction. It's a circle.
Oh, I guess true then.
It's all a
So-
big circle.
Well, then
we
why
either
go up?
Our methods.
Well, all right. So here. All right. DM gracing moment. Oh man, we're spending so much time on this already. All right. So, if this is the center chamber here, and there was like an outer circle, right? So apparently there was like a temple there, and you guys ran into like another temple like around there, and then you ran into a temple around here. Somewhere around here would be where this cliff face was, basically. There was like a little intersection you guys ran into right here.
And we
So
were...
you went across this line right here, and this is where you are currently.
Right.
Yes. So you could climb the cliff face and come right back over here, and this would let you circumnavigate
Or just
faster
stay down
towards
here.
this way, which this is technically the fastest way back to Medan. You have no idea what is out in this land over here. This is
Column B,
completely
okay.
foreign. And even then, you don't really know what's on the other half of this temple over here. You only went to the temple itself, and then, oh shit, ran back the way you came. So
Right.
that's what you know in the mines. Hopefully that helps speed up your decision. So really, if you choose this, it's more. It would be the smarter move if you wanted to head back to Medan. If you were trying to go forward, this would not be a good move at all. You're going to burn spell slots to do it, waste time, and then even then it's going to take you longer than actually backtrack to then head over in this direction. If you want to head in this direction, the fastest way to do it would be through here.
Let's just go right here.
That's screw it.
All right,
then.
and I don't like normally taking away your deliberation
That's fine.
It's fine.
opportunities, but this is
We
gonna-
have to move today.
Yeah. Okay. So
All right, Doma, strap him up.
I give you my rope. To use. I have apparently 100 feet of fucking hempen rope, so take it and do whatever you gotta do with it.
I also have some rope, but thanks. Now, I don't know what you want me to do with that rope. I was just kind of thinking of picking him up and carrying him on my
Oh.
back.
well, we could, I guess, tie his hands together, and you could drape it over your neck, or
That's kind of what I was thinking.
tie him to your limbs so that I don't
was
know.
actually
I'm
going
not
for
sure
my
what she
back.
was really thinking either. I'm just trying to give her the
Like I
benefit of
said,
the doubt.
I figured we'd tie him to a bedroll and drag him like we did with Ania. We wrapped
That
up
was
in the
because
little
we're going
burrito.
through a tiny
That's
tiny
true.
little area.
But wouldn't he be
Strap him to your back. Go
drag
back
You-
to back.
You
Go back to back.
tied me up and dragged me?
No,
Oh,
no.
um,
Well, we didn't have a choice. But we
We
were
were
talking
So wait,
calling
you did do it or you didn't? Roderick says you didn't, but now you say you.
we put you on
I
a
didn't say
bedroll and
anything,
pulled you
just to
through
let
the
you know.
tunnel.
I said nothing.
Because
It
Evelyn.
was, it was
so thin.
complicated, Aniel, but you're here. That's all that matters.
That's true.
It was a small tunnel.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
So what
All right,
are we
so
doing?
Doma,
How are we
strap
how are
him-
we
strap
approaching
him
this,
shoulder to
guys?
shoulder.
Come on.
I say we just put his hands together and I carry him on my back.
What if something comes out?
What if something comes what?
What if something attacks?
What if something
just
attacks?
put him on your back. Just put him on your back. He's like half your size.
That's what I said.
Yes.
I'd
Like
carry him on
not
my back.
slinging him over, but I'm saying like you tie him like back to back, like a backpack.
You want me to backpack, Duro?
Backpack.
Sure. You guys have to do the tying then.
Okay.
Who's good with ropes? Or not,
me.
or...
Well, I think that's a dexterous thing. I'm not really that.
I can do. I'll do it. I'll do it. We can.
Dex at. I have +2, so.
No,
You're already ahead of me.
All right, let's.
All right, so one of you rolls, the other has advantage. You're getting
I'll do
advantage
it.
because both of you are trying to do it. So just one of you roll with advantage. One helps, the other does it. You both have a +2 mod.
All right, 20.
You rolled
Unnatural.
like a calf.
Unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20. Yeah, you. It was not a very difficult check in the first place. It seems like you guys are complicating the unneeded to be complicated. So yes, you managed to make a kind of weird backpack Duro situation. He's like tied, like his waist is tied tightly around your waist, and his back is to your back. He faces behind you, and he just like slacked. His arms are just dangling at the side. He's dead. He's just a corpse. That's what's happening. Oh fuck.
We love you, Duro.
But
we love you.
the coins fall out of his
No.
face for doing
Let's
that.
get bandages and tie them on.
What
Strips of
balls?
cloth.
What?
You would have
Can
had
we
to
do
done
that,
that, but
Lex?
you would have had to done that before you did this, though.
Oh my god.
What?
All right, no, I'll just give it to you. Fuck, I'm not making this bitch anymore. All right, yes, you may attempt to do something. How are you going to bandage? Do you have bandages?
Duro has bandages.
Duro
He
has,
has bandages.
he's got scraps. You want to? Okay, dig through his.
He's
All right,
got
you dig through his
scraps.
pack. Okay, I'm. You know what?
Wait,
Fuck
what
it.
is-
Fuck it.
what is
Just
that?
going for it.
What-
All right,
what am I- what
her
am I
gentle
doing?
repose. Her
What-
gentle
what
repose.
is
You
the
need to
issue
keep
here?
gentle repose. Needs to keep copper coins on the eyes. If they fall off, it's no longer
Oh.
working.
Shit.
So moving him is actually not really. That's gonna.
So the burrito thing would have been a better option.
We just basically have to blindfold them on.
And if one
God.
happens to get jostled out, the spell breaks. Just FYI.
Oh, it's that or we can't move them.
I'm not trying to complicate it, but that is reality. I just realized it right now.
Ruining everything. One spell at a time.
If the spell breaks, I mean, we lose his body decays, which makes it harder to revive him. But we don't have other options. We can just leave him here. Maybe something comes and eats him. I don't think we have. I don't think we have a choice.
We gotta tie it on there. That
Yeah,
must.
we gotta tie it on. Unless someone's got some glue.
Oh God.
Whoa.
So you guys revived Duro, but he's got coins glued to the top of his island.
It's better than being dead.
It's
my
gonna be like,
God.
why can't I can't open my eyes all the
Natural
way.
20 for the roll. There you go.
I can't even right now.
Wait, for tying it on, you do a nat 20? What? This
I
guy
I
nat
hope-
20 to...
I hope
I don't know. I
he's
just did that.
laughing. I hope he's laughing so hard at us right now because I would be.
DTW... No.
I'm just gonna
Petit
yes.
went
You,
nat
you,
20 to...
for the time being, you have the extra the cloth he has is tied around the eyes, and so the copper coins remain for now. But in event of some kind of crisis, it's probably gonna break the spell. So just keep that in mind.
Okay.
Don't
All
mind.
right.
Because unfortunately, jostling or moving rapidly is definitely going to make the coins fall out. Period. So, all right. You guys
What if we
start
wrap his
making your
whole
way
face?
back. Holy fuck. An hour and a half later. Well, actually an hour. I'm sorry. Yeah, we start at 5:30. An hour later, you guys finally start traversing your way back to the third temple. And so you start going down the long hallway that you all were walking around, all five of you walking your conscious choice, walking forward about 9-10 hours ago. The hallway does not have any notable marks. You guys did not draw anything or leave any runes or anything like that on there, and it's a pretty bland experience. Not much happens. It's quiet. You don't really hear anything except for your guys' own movement of gear. Doma, about 3 hours of carrying all this excess weight, you start getting tired, and while your pace isn't slow, your body is starting to really feel exertion. Can you please make a Constitution saving throw?
I sure can. Sorry, people are showing up for the party, so I'm kind of busy. It's like fucking Constitution. It's like 22.
Okay.
No, that's way higher. It's 19 plus. It's 26.
You pass. Fuck. All right. So.
Let me redo my math.
But you are getting tired, and you recognize that continuing this is going. You feel like this is going to start causing exertion on your body, continuing with the method you're trying right now. But you guys continue and voyage forward, and after the 5-hour walk, you eventually find yourself back in front of the third temple. And as you make your way out of the square arch hallway, and you start seeing what you would expect to be green light coming in, there is no green light coming in. Just your cantrips. And as you make your way past the archway, you find a very dark room. You do not hear any thundering footsteps going choo, choo. And within the 60 feet of vision you have, there's nothing going on here. There's just a temple with no light, no energy mass at the top of it. It's just dark, basically.
Well,
Oh,
guess that answers that.
yeah. Looks like there's no. It looks like they used up all the power bringing him back.
Or it dissipated over the rest.
It's true.
So now you guys mentally note that there were 3 routes that you were aware of when you were kind of moving through this area. You could go to the right, and there was a passage way down there that you didn't explore. You could go left. The route you're on now is one of the 3 routes, I should say. So there's to the right, the route you're on now, and to the left. And to the left would be back towards Medan. You could also go ahead and poke around in the temple itself if you chose to do such. Of course, you're relying on your light spells, not Agnir providing any illumination for you.
We haven't seen anyone or heard anything in our travel here, right?
Nope, it's been just you guys. You're not hearing any other creatures. You're not seeing anything. It's eerily quiet.
Roderick, when you did detect magic before, was it the Agnir that was affecting you, or those creatures? It was the Agnir, right?
Well, as far as I know, it didn't work very well when I tried the sense earlier in the other room. I don't know about him, but it seems to still be going for me.
I'm just wondering what would happen if we tried it now that the glowy sphere is gone.
Well, since he's conveniently away from keyboard,
Roderick is?
I could try. Yep,
Okay.
as far as I know. Oh,
Sure.
his headset died. Rip headset.
How do you know his headset died? I don't have any
He
conversation from
texted us.
Oh, he just didn't text me. Alright, thanks, buddy.
Poor Laris.
Whatever, I get the message. Alright, so
Rip.
Roderick can't speak right now. Alright, it's a 2-man show.
All right, Dumbo, we got this.
Yeah.
Alright. DTW, take over for Roderick real quick.
I don't think that's appropriate.
I don't think it works. No.
If I was DTW, I would have jumped on
Duro.
that. Yeah, I'm gonna El Renel, can I exchange my soul for Duro? Well, that resolves that problem.
I don't know why you guys are having so much problem deciding this.
Alright, so you have 2 other routes to take, and then there's a temple you could explore. Or in a whole other chamber you could
Do you want
explore.
me to sneak ahead on one of these routes and see if I can see anything?
Well, the
I mean,
things are here. Were we going to explore the temple, or are we just moving past it?
well, should we go down inside and see if there's anything down below? Maybe.
I want to
thinking
find
it-
that
I'm thinking
one that
it's
we
gonna
have
be-
saved.
The green circle on the floor that we've been following earlier, that's all gone, right?
Yes, there's no the green
So
lines on
it's-
the ground.
I don't even think it's worth going down there because there's not going to be anything down.
You're aware that right now, from your current vantage point, you would actually be able to see right down the middle of into the center of the temple right now. And there's no
Right.
illumination coming from anything above the temple down there, and there's no like green circle in the middle providing illumination. So you surmise there is no green radiation aura that would kill you or anything like that, or some kind of green circle that if Duro was alive and touched would get zapped, you know, kind of. There isn't anything like that, at least on your visual perception.
What I was asking, Roderick, if you can hear me, is if you could try to detect magic again, or if you thought it was the Agnir versus the creatures. I'm thinking it's the Agnir, though, but... we have... You said how many tunnels going? 2 different tunnels going different ways?
You can go. You basically can make a left or a right if you don't want to head back to the center chamber where you fought Saaroth, or explore this area, or explore this room you're currently in.
One way's to Old Medan, one way's to one we haven't been.
Well, right, wouldn't that go back to the center? Wait,
Currently, you're here, going this
sorry,
way.
I'm trying to map it out in my head.
Here's the temple, this triangle. You can go left. This is back towards Medan, theoretically. It's back to the first temple is what it really is. First
Right.
temple. And then this way is unknown.
Unknown. I say we go right.
I don't
To the
have a
unknown?
reason to disapprove of that if you think it's a wise decision.
The only question is, do you want to look in this temple, or do we just want to keep moving and try to get somewhere safer with Duro?
Well, I don't sense any energy lingering here myself. I don't really have much interest personally, but if you all think there's
I don't
value
either.
to it, then I would encourage us to spend the time on it. It's what you
think-
feel.
Given that it's dark, gives us enough information that I don't think we need to explore much further.
Do you agree?
Fortunately.
So then, left or right?
To the unknown.
Alright.
Unknown.
You guys make it right. Okay. And you start traversing, and there is a bend to the right. Yeah? Yep, a bend to the right. And you guys start traversing on this bend to the right. And it's a 20-foot wide, gosh dang, tunnel. 25-foot wide tunnel. Square like arch supports. Every now and then you see some beams built into it. There's not any other real illumination besides your light spells. And after about 2 more hours of walking, Doma, you just have to stop. You're so exhausted that you have to stop. And so the group takes a slight reprieve to eat, kind of let you take the weight off your back for a moment, so you unstrap Duro for the time being, just so that you can kind of like relax just a little bit. Doma, I do need you to make another Constitution saving throw.
I'm gonna lucky that. That's a nat 1. I can't lucky twice, so I'm gonna take the 3.
Okay, total is?
10.
You have 1 level of exhaustion.
Figured as much. That's like disadvantage on everything, right?
Disadvantage on all skill checks.
Oh boy.
Attack rolls don't get affected. Saving throws don't get affected. But skill checks, all skill checks are affected by that.
As you look at me, I'm
Are you alright?
tired.
You're not looking so good.
Wasn't expecting to worn out this quickly. It's pretty.
Well, I don't know if that's really been quickly. We've been traveling for what?
It's true.
7-8 hours now?
Yeah.
I mean, there's only a couple more hours before we would stop anyways. Should we stop here, or should we go a little bit further? She's looking at Evelyn. Because Roderick is just like just spacing out.
Deer in headlights.
He's drooling a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, if you were that exhausted, we should probably just. No, you cannot be heard.
Your mic's not even queuing up green, man.
Quick fix my tuchus. Okay.
FK.
Dogus? What's with you and strange words today?
I don't know. Swizzle stick isn't a strange thing. Okay. Yeah. So Doma, if you're feeling exhausted, we can stop and rest. A while, or if you want to try to get another hour out, and then stop. It's up to you. Do you?
I don't
feel
think we should go
okay to
more
continue?
than 3 or 4 hours max, and then we better stop regardless.
Right.
I can go a bit further.
Alright. Let's just do 2 more hours and see how that goes.
Are you okay with that, Roderick? Oh yeah, guys, that's a great idea. All right.
That's fine.
So, you guys. So with that, restrap, throw back to Dumba's back. Everyone's gonna use the same check previous, because it's not even entertaining to make you roll for fuck's sake. And you guys keep going. An hour later, you find a T intersection available to you. You can go straight, and you can go left. And so literally, you're like this.
So we can keep going, or we can get out of the circle here.
I
I agree with Roderick.
think we should get
Get
out of the circle.
Yeah. Though, I'm not sure much further I can bloody make it.
Let's just get a little bit into this other thing here, and I mean, just like 10 minutes, and we can stop then.
Alright.
Okay. So, Doma, make another Constitution saving throw.
Figured as much. Pushing further wouldn't push it.
Mic check?
Mic
Hey,
check.
It works, Roderick.
you're not
That's
rolling
another
anymore.
What would you get,
That's
Doma?
a 3 again.
A 3.
Plus
Are you-
7.
Are you gonna lucky it?
Oh, fuck.
You don't have to. All right, we're gonna take it as is because you didn't want to take it.
We're gonna be sleeping soon.
All right. So, Doma, 2nd level exhaustion. Your move speed is cut in half. I think it's
That doesn't matter to me! Oh!
That's you can't be encumbered. Exhaustion is not gonna still affect you.
No. And your movement speed isn't reduced.
I do not think this magic would stop exhaustion, sir. Speed is halved. Some abilities can affect your exhaustion measure 6 levels. Blah blah blah.
Well, shit. If that was the case, we would have just gone to the fucking tunnel and slept. Fuck.
Creature suffers the current level exhaustion. Yeah, I do not. Well, let me read your damn boots. I do not think. I don't think these things would help you. It's because your move speed can't. So you could sprint, but you're just so fucking tired that you just can't convince yourself.
Slow down.
You can't will yourself to keep moving forward. Your body is just like, no more. It's kind of what it's doing to you. So I'm still heavily inclined. What were these boots called again? Boots of striding and straining?
I believe so. Boots of striding and springing. That's what it says on the table.
While wearing these boots, your walking speed becomes 30 unless your walking speed is higher, and your speed isn't reduced if you're encumbered or wearing heavy armor. It's only those 2 effects. You're not encumbered right now. You are exhausted, so it still is reduced. In addition, you can jump 3 times your distance. So yes, you are technically moving at half speed, and so the group, after the next 10ish minutes of you going, this is when you just start just dogging it, and Aniel gives Evelyn a look and then looks to Roderick. Maybe we should stop here.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Roderick and I will unhook Duro.
Okay, so as you
Collapse against a nearby wall.
As you unhook Duro, I need you to just make a... Actually, I'll do it. I'll let you guys do it. Who wants to roll the d20 to see if the coin stayed on Duro's face?
Can I use lucky on it?
Hell no.
Then not me.
I'll do it.
All right, Evelyn,
Okay.
roll that
All
d20.
right, it's all on you.
What am I rolling?
Roll a d20. Nothing adds. You just roll a d20. I mean, that's the fate.
That's a lot of 3s in a row, man.
Okay.
On this table.
So Evelyn, you take Duro off, and then you have the itch to see if the coins are still on his eyes, and you untie the bandana of sorts, whatever it is, and you take a peek, and the coins seem to still be there.
All right.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't roll. I think it was a higher chance of hitting that nat 1.
Are you hungry? Would you like something to eat?
Roderick would pass him a water skin.
Thanks.
I have good
Of course.
berries.
Are you asking me or the group?
Does anyone want good berries?
I could, if you would, please.
Sure.
Thank you.
I'll eat a ration.
So Roderick wants some actual like subsistence food, so he passes and rips out a ration bag, kind of maybe contemplating. I have too much weight is probably also maybe that decision.
Gotta eat a ration.
And so munching down a bit. Any conversations you guys would like to have in the current environment? No.
Well,
So where do you think this goes?
I'm hoping wherever we're. I guess. What was the city we're looking for, or what was the place we're looking for? I don't even know. What did he even say?
Oh god.
The rest of Medan, essentially.
Pretty much.
I remember the name. It's like on the tip of my tongue. Gotta find notes.
Once if it's destroyed.
I can't
And I
even
came
go
a
there
long
right
way
now.
for
I
nothing.
think we should hope for the best.
Yeah, I can't even think of that. I can.
And what do you
I
think
only
the
hope
other
that
route
they're
led to? If this leads out, where does... As she gestures back the way you guys came.
I think that's a big loop back, but I'm not sure.
I still think we should be pretty safe just traveling this path.
It's Karad.
So
far
are
as I
those
know.
are those things you think what was attacking the people that came into the mines, or do you think there's more
I
threats
imagine.
than just that?
There's probably other things in here,
I think those were the most major threats in my opinion, but
yeah. Looting those
Sure,
bloody
you're
vol
right.
scraps. Screw those
Yeah.
things.
That's true.
Hopefully they're a myth because they're rare.
What's a
So-
Volscrap?
Giant rat.
We
Very
were
giant
New
rat.
York rat.
attacked by.
Well, it's in New York. Then again, someone did describe it as being similar to a train. I don't know what that is either.
I don't know what a train is either, but it sounds like a very interesting construct. I mean,
Mhm.
large.
Yeah.
I think.
I could have swore the DM said that the actual Volscrap was the side of multiple wagons strung together
I
in,
think
a
he's a
in a
wagon.
method of vehicular movement.
Just think of multiple wagons strewn together, and you got
Yes.
yourself
All
a
right.
whole scrap ale.
Okay, so it's large, very, very big.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
strong.
it came from the ceiling, so if you know.
Yeah, it took me out in one go. Screw those things.
Okay, yeah, let's not.
Let's not run into a full scrap.
Right. Are you all okay?
I'm tired.
Physically, mentally, or emotionally.
Just about about everything that's happened, and I'm sorry that I wasn't much help.
Anyhow, if you weren't here, we wouldn't have made it. Don't sell yourself short.
But you're only here because of me, too.
We had our own reason to come to Medan. If we came down here without you, we couldn't have come this far.
What's it like from the places you've all come from?
What do you mean?
Well, I come from two places. One's happy, one's not happy.
I mean, as in,
The surface.
yeah, I haven't.
One time.
I
haven't been
I
out
only
there
got
in
to
a while.
see the sky for a short period of time, and it's been a very long time. I was just kind of wondering what the world was like.
Well, before the orcs started attacking, it was.
It's nice.
It was. Yeah, it was.
Mhm.
It was a good life. It was.
The races you might be accustomed to seem to be flourishing compared to what might have been happening when you met them. There's large cities and plenty of people to meet and greet.
Mhm.
Veneer
You
is a
definitely go to
lovely
Westwind.
place.
What's Westwind?
My hometown. It's a coastal city. The sunsets are amazing.
By the ocean, huh?
Mm.
Never seen the ocean.
It's beautiful.
What's it like, Roderick? Westwind, that
Yeah.
is.
And the ocean.
Okay, before I mess up the biome, is it yeah, is it I guess
Typical
more
ocean.
tropical, or is it just I would say, is it or like a more like a temperate, like basically I'm trying to say, like, is it more like southeast,
It's not tropical.
United
It's not like
States
palm
comparable,
tree
or-
beach like that. It's
Mhm.
I
It's
mean,
more like
if you're familiar with
Virgin.
I want to say it's more like probably like Oregon coast or Californian coast, northern California coast, but you're probably not really familiar with that. So
It would
I
be,
know what it's like.
Mm,
it'd be temperate. I mean it wouldn't be
Temperate,
it wouldn't
yeah.
be terrible. It's not like
No.
I
Summer
think those-
seasons you could swim.
Warm summers. You have that salty air smell, earthy.
right.
You technically swim if you don't mind cool water.
Right.
I know those beaches well.
yeah, I was gonna say, because if I use where I'm at, I mean it's kind of still
about the
kind of
same,
the
right?
same. Yeah, except
Maybe
except
warmer
that
in
it's
the
warmer.
summertime. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Oh, let's use it off of this year. It's practically a vacation compared to this. It never seems to be too cold. As always, you can always go out with a jacket, a light jacket. The sun never seems to stop shining before the sun sets over the horizon. The people there, they're all great except certain people.
What do you mean by that?
That there's always the best of people and the worst, but the people of Westwind always would lend a helping hand to someone in need. It seems like, at least.
Sounds like a lovely place. Lovely.
I think it's just the weather that makes people so happy.
So why did you leave it exactly?
That has to do with those unsavory folks. I've got into something a little bigger than myself, and my stepfather had to pay the cost for that. His life and me, multiple attempts at death.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
It's fine. I'm here, and that's all that matters. Oh, sorry to bring that up to put a
No,
damper on
I
such
asked,
nice weather,
that's-
I'm sure.
That would
That's-
be my error, not yours.
Hmm. He would look at Evelyn and then look back to everyone else and say, maybe it all, is some part of some bigger plan. I hope.
How about you, Evelyn?
I'm from a big city, I guess. Hustle and bustle, people moving about. I mean, it has its quieter areas where you can read and sit by a pond with some trees for shade in the summertime. It was magical. I don't really know how else to describe it. I miss it. I don't even know if it's still there, so.
Do you regret coming in the mountain?
No. No, not at all. I think Roderick is right about that. I think some things just happen for a reason. But I'm glad we rescued you, anyhow.
Well,
And I hope you get to see that world someday.
what about you, Doma?
Well, where I'm originally from is kind of just icky and dark and a lot like this, honestly, is what I got used to back there. But when I got out and I lived in Veneer, that place was just so magical compared to what I was so used to. The grass gets long in Veneer during the summer months, and it seems to just ripple in the breeze like tides going across a lake. It's quite beautiful. And early spring, the snow still sits on top of the mountains, and when the sun rises, it just seems to set it all ablaze. I couldn't believe my eyes when I lived there. It just seemed so holy and peaceful. I truly want to go back whenever I can. Not to stay, but I do miss it. I miss the people who taught me how to be a paladin. Especially my elder teacher. He glances over at his sword. He's the one who left me with the pick. Or granted it to me when I first set out.
Who was your teacher?
It's a good question. I need to fucking bring up the notes. Because I don't have my stories set up. In a linear thing, it's in more than one fucking thing.
His name is Rithos, man.
Rithos, yeah.
Yep.
The moment I opened the folder. Rithos was my teacher. Taught me a lot. I honestly miss that place, and I hope to show it to you all one day.
Sounds like all of you have homes that you wish to go back to. If we get out of the mountain, are you all going to separate?
Roderick would look at Evelyn.
You should look back at you.
Those two probably aren't.
I see that.
And you, Domo, are you gonna head back to Veneer?
Well, for a time, after all the... Maybe the orc skirmish is settled, I'll head back. Report all that I found to my higher-ups. After all, me coming out here was just a mission to become an official paladin.
But they might send you on more.
It's
Right.
true. Well, anyway,
What
I
do
do
you
have
want
to
to do,
report.
Aniel?
That's a good question.
I make a persuasion rack. Check. Roll. Persuasion roll.
Make
Yeah.
a thing!
That thing!
She wants to be with her Domi poo.
Don't me.
13.
What the fuck?
Oh. I probably would stay with company I enjoy, or company that I can stay with, honestly.
Well, I consider us family, so you'll always have a place.
Bills.
I'm a little nervous though about mingling with others, and all. So
Well,
I don't think it'll be as bad as you think.
Well, I think she means with her matron.
Annual nods.
Will
She should
do
get
you
over
think
it.
she'll try to contact you once we're in the surface?
I don't. She's just shaking her head left and right.
Well, until it.
I guess I'm asking because I just wanted to know how much longer you will all still be staying together.
Hopefully, we'll get back together regularly, even if we have to go our separate ways at first.
Yeah.
I do enjoy all your
Yeah.
company.
I don't plan to stay apart for long.
What
And we
are
have
If
ways
Doma,
to
if
keep in
Doma has
touch.
to go and do his stuff, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing where he's from.
Veneer, I'd love to show you.
Mhm.
But where would you go first? If we could only go to one place as soon as we leave, where would it be? How do you decide these things?
Well, we've got one place to go when we get out.
I need to check on the High Council one time.
I thought we had to go to the city that was being attacked. If they're still there.
Yeah, one time.
Winheim.
So then you all have the same goal.
One time.
Yes.
And I think that whatever comes after that, I think we'd find a way to figure it out together. At least I'd like to think so.
Alright.
You're always welcome to stay with us too, Aniel.
Of course.
Make an insight
But I
roll,
understand.
Doma.
Ooh.
Mm-mm.
Nat
Oh
20.
shit!
Holy crap.
So on the cues that she's been presenting and like the replies you provided, you definitely can tell that she's very tense and she's really anxious about something. Something about this topic, about you, about the group potentially diverging is troubling her greatly. Enough to actually she brings it up in conversation.
I would say that's. Yeah.
We're her family at this point.
Well, I think it's like she's never asked us anything personal except for right now. So I mean, yeah, makes sense.
It wasn't necessarily a difficult check, but I mean, you're nat 20. Yeah, there's something she's really anxious about in lieu of within context of what she's talking about. And because you're nat 20, you're kind of more in the part of actually the fact that the group going different ways. That's what she's probably the most nervous about for some reason.
Well, I suppose we could go to Whiterun. When time? Fix all that. Then if you guys would like, you could come with me to Veneer. So we could stay together. Smile
like
over,
that.
Daniel. You can stay with us.
But at some
I
point
can't say
you
no to travel.
will separate, right?
Even if we do, let's
Wait and see.
not hope that it would be for long.
Mm.
I feel like I would always wanna, if I went traveling somewhere, be with you guys. You're dependable, and at this point, you're my friends. If not more than that.
Your guys' conversation divulged down to a little bit more of some maybe more personal memories of some of the things you've witnessed from your hometowns. Kind of like diverting conversation to the side, and eventually you guys go to sleep. I'm not going to even make a watch necessary, as I already rolled and nothing could attack you tonight, so we're just going to try to expedite because we don't have a ton amount of time tonight. So you guys wake up the next day with the option now of continuing down this path or going back the way you came.
Onwards.
Doma, how you feeling?
I don't know, how am I feeling,
we
DM?
try
You have
something
one
different?
less exhaustion, so you're currently exhausted, level 1. It only can clear 1 exhaustion per night,
Yeah,
sir.
I figured.
So
Shouldn't have
half
pushed
hit dice
10
restore,
minutes.
spell slots reset, items reset, features reset, but you still have that level 1 exhaustion. You can only clear 1 at a time.
What's second level do to you? Just cut your movement speed?
Second level just makes you move at half move speed, and that's not just say that's a pretty penalizing hit.
That's true.
That's huge.
3, I
When you
think.
can only go so many.
3 is the one where you can't you have disadvantage on all attacks, if I recall. And
It's
then
basically when you're
four-
just struggling to move.
4 is like, I mean 6 is death.
You
I remember
can't
that.
do anything.
5
4 is
is
hit point halved?
terrible. I forget. I'll take a look. I'm gonna double check.
Speed
But yeah.
0?
Anyways, it's you don't want to be over. You don't want to be over really above 2. 2 or higher is really bad. Disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws at 3. Your hit points maximum is halved at 4. Speed is reduced to 0 at 5. You can't move. Period. And then you have death at 6. So yeah, not bueno. That's the.
Not fun.
Don't push yourself that hard. Make sure you eat, you drink, and then you
Yep.
don't keep doing frenzy rage as a barbarian. Okay. All right, so you guys want to move forward. We will need a tie check for assembling Duro to the back of Doma for today.
How bad's it gonna be this time?
So I will let
Want me to do it?
Dex character roll with advantage because the other people will be trying to help.
Ooh, baby.
Nice.
22.
22. Okay, and so with that, it's like almost exactly the same as it was yesterday. Duro strapped the back of Doma. Doma, you're just like it's just in there like tying around. You're like, oh, like your body's immediately going, oh, please, not more of this, because it's pretty fucking exhausting. But guys don't really have another alternative, and so regardless, you man up and champion it out, and you guys
Wait.
start
Oh my
moving
god, what's there is an alternative?
moving forward.
What about an alternative?
Never mind, that wouldn't work. not even feasible.
I mean, we could also. I didn't think about this earlier, but we could maybe lighten some of the load. We could take maybe
Take
some
off
of
his
his
gear.
Yeah,
possessions
think that.
and carry some of it
But
ourselves.
who's gonna carry that?
I
You
can
can split it up.
I can take his
Well,
backpack and try to hold his gear.
ooh. Wait, did we already strap him on there? Do we have to undo this and redo it?
That's why you brought it up late. What a
And
guy.
he's laughing. That's our DM.
Yep, he just loves torturing us.
Oh wow, that laugh.
Confirmation.
Evil laugh.
Oh, dang. Well, yeah, you know the
confirmation.
truth. What do you want to do? Do you want to help Toma out or not?
you have had to take his backpack off?
Would
the top of
would
my back?
removing the gear actually help him though? Like, would it give him advantage on his
No comment.
whatever con
I,
save
I,
or whatever?
I can't answer that. You make the choice. You know there's a penalty. I told there was a penalty for him carrying all the weight to begin with. So.
And I didn't listen. What do you
Yeah.
mean I didn't listen?
You guys are still functioning for now. But
Oh, hold on, guys. Hold on.
Permanent dimension door?
Well,
Pop, pop.
I should have burned at least 2 of them yesterday with. Anyway. For fuck's sake.
what's going on exactly?
I'm just looking up something.
You're looking up druid spells to see if you can prepare a different druid spell that can maybe help him out. Is that what you're doing?
Maybe.
Well, hold that. All right. I don't know if there'd be terribly a lot you could do in this circumstance. It was a diabolical laugh. I just enjoyed the fact that they had to make the choice of like, do we sacrifice this roll?
It's a good fucking roll.
It was,
bro.
but it's like Doma's well-being or not, and you guys end up deciding to let Doma suffer.
I know,
Which is
right?
what I expected
We
to
haven't
happen,
decided
and that's
yet.
why I enjoyed it. It's
Wait,
like,
did
oh,
we
we
even
can help
decide?
you.
We haven't
Oh,
even
we're not
decided.
going to, because we already tied him to the back. You can suck it up. Like,
That's not quite how friendship works, guys.
That's not what we
That's
decided.
exactly how it is.
We
What's
didn't
that
even
about?
decide yet.
That's how best friendship works. Is that what we have?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
You don't
Yeah,
help
buddy.
your friend, you laugh at them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's actually something you could do to help for a bit. I mean, technically.
Could I conjure animals for an hour and make something big enough to carry them?
You
Dog
could
sled.
conjure
Dog sled. Dog
an,
sled. Dog.
an animal for a while and have it carry Duro's unconscious body and weight, like if you did like a dire wolf or something. Yeah, just you throw him up there, the wolf lasts for the hour, and poof, it's gone. That's 1 hour closer.
Right?
And then,
well,
of
that's
course-
good.
and of course-
that's a good option.
Of course, that is you're burning the spell slot, so if you run into combat, you don't have it, but you would have the animal for whatever duration it remains. So, I mean, you could do shit like that. Yeah, absolutely. You could polymorph each other into bigger things too. It's also possible.
What
Let me sleep again real quick. I have a spell.
Nope.
Shit.
No.
Son of a bitch, I have that
Wait,
spell in there.
what level does my circlet go up to?
Level 5, so any spell you can cast.
I
currently.
could do polymorph then.
But polymorphing lasts an hour too. So FYI.
Same.
That's when you need fine steed. But I forgot it was even a spell because I've never used it once.
Anywho, I think we kind of got past the point of preparing spells. So.
Nah, we're still asleep. What do you mean?
Oh my god, this is why I didn't want to wait for. I should have just shut up. I should have been like, all right, suck it up, let's go.
This is what
Well,
you get
if
for
don't
laughing
want
maniacally.
me to do it, that's fine. I understand that.
Do you want to do something or not? That's your call.
I was gonna learn conjure animals.
Okay,
for the
that's
day.
fine. Yeah, all right. So you want to cast conjure animals, and what animal are you gonna conjure?
What are my options?
She's casting a spell from the beautiful emerald circlet she has. She can get some druid spells, and she's gonna cast conjure animals. So it's a 3rd level conjuration. You can summon face spirits, take on the form of beasts, and appear in an unoccupied space. You can do 1 challenge rating of 2 or lower. That would give you the highest stats for one creature to carry. So I'd probably recommend going for the 2 or lower, rather than a whole bunch of smaller ones.
What is 2 or lower though? Where's my
dire wolf? I think is like a
Yep.
1.
Direwolf is 1. You can do a giant elk. You can do giant constrictor snake. Oh, that'd be weird to time to that.
Black bear is a challenge rating of half. Where's a brown bear? Aren't they like challenge rating 1? You can do a brown bear. It's challenge rating 1. It's got 19 strength, 16 con.
What's its move speed?
Move speed is 40 feet.
40 feet?
It's faster
So
than
a brown bear would be a pretty good choice. It's got the strength that could support it. That's the thing.
Yeah, let me do a brown bear.
Okay. So you weave your hands around and
Sorry, guys.
and you have like green energy fluctuating around your hands. And then suddenly
Witchcraft!
this like energy starts gathering around the environment, almost as if like coming out through the ground beneath you, and suddenly a spirit starts forming in front of you, and then as these little orbs get absorbed into the spirit, it takes more and more shape, and eventually becomes that of a brown bear. And then the light shimmers down, and then you see this brown bear blink a few times and looks up at you.
Hey there.
What's with there?
I think we're gonna let him carry some of this burden off you, Duro or Doma, just until. Yeah, I think we should put Duro on him and let him carry him. We can still split up some of his gear if you guys want to, so it's a less of a burden when we get him back on Doma later. But at least I think we should use this to
The
help.
bear now just sits on its butt, puts its front like hind legs in front of it, just sits there like looking at you, Evelyn.
So
Hey there, little
I guess
guy.
strap this onto.
Kind of scratches the
They're
top
around
of its
too.
head behind its ear. It's a pretty cute bear, by the way.
Just wish I could speak to you, little guy.
It's my job.
It like walks up to you and licks you in the face.
Will you help us carry our friend?
It looks at Duro, who's currently strapped to Doma still. Then looks back at you. Nods a few times.
All right. What do
Cool
you guys
bear
think?
there. All right, just let me just strap him on, I guess. We'll
Alright.
undo this and then I'm.
So then you undo Duro. Anyways, so the 22 squandered. But as you like plate Duro on the ground, and you guys then work
Back
your
to
way
coin.
to strap the Duro to the bear. I'm gonna still use your 22 for the rest of the day, and so the Duro is strapped to the bear with a 22. So the brown bear has a Duro toted on its back, and you guys have 58 minutes of brown bear taxi with Duro just unconscious on top of it.
Can the bear carry all of us?
No, I don't think. No.
Okay.
The bear
Why
just
do you want to? Do you
starts
want to ride a
lumbering
bear?
slowly forward, goes about 20 feet, stops and looks back at the rest of the group, waiting for you to catch up.
Well, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was asking because I'm sure it can probably move a little faster than we can.
We can't all ride the bear.
Yeah, I don't think we can all ride the bear.
I don't think we should kill it. That'd be pretty terrible. Poor creature's already doing enough for us as it is.
Right.
Yes.
So the group starts making their way forward, and about 50.
Although-
About 50.
No.
What?
No.
What?
No.
Okay, about 55 minutes in, the bear turns.
I could have done 2 brown bears.
Yeah, you could have actually. You're right. All right, but
Yeah.
at 55 minutes later, the brown bear like stops and like paws you a couple of times, Evelyn, kind of like letting you know that there's not much time left. And
Can
being
I
aware of it.
If I recast it, will he go away or like?
I will
do
let you
I-
recast it to keep it. This is not normally possible with the spell, but in this circumstance, I don't want to have like. I'll let you do it.
Okay, I'll recast it.
All right. So with that, you like wave your hands around again, green energy around it, and suddenly the bear seems to get a little bit more vigor and then licks you on your hand, and then begins trotting its way forward again. As you guys move about another 55 minutes forward with the bear once again.
Do we want to do it 1 more hour, Doma? You think, or do you want me to save some?
How's this path looking, DM?
Right. So the path has been primarily straight. Every now and then there's kind of like a little tilt to the left, but primarily straight. Altitude-wise, there don't seem much change to it. It's still 20 feet wide. It's a tunnelish, like archway support system going forward. And you've currently been traveling through it for about 2 hours.
But this isn't natural caving. It wouldn't be this straight then. It's really up to you if you would like to do it again. I can carry him if we need to.
Well, let me do 1 more hour.
If you do, we have to name him.
Because I still have my pearl, I can get 1 3rd level back. So I mean, I can make it work if we do 1 more hour with him.
All right.
I'll recast.
Okay, so the brown bear regains strength again.
Name him.
He like nudges his shoulder into you, Evelyn, and then begins walking down the Pelmore. 30 minutes later, you guys now have traveling 2.5 hours. The bear keeps trotting forward. Nothing seems to happen. You guys go to that other 55-minute mark again. The bear, once again, not giving you a notification that he is nearing the end of your spell. And then he doesn't just want poor Duro just on the ground and die, you know. Well, I mean, he's already dead. What does it matter?
Oh, Jesus.
So, you're at that point now where the bear is going to be disappearing, so you're pretty much at the 3-hour mark.
I give him a little rough bottle behind his ears and scratch his face. And
Goodbye, Boris.
thank you, Boris.
Its head tilts towards you, like, Roderick, like, you haven't called it Boris the entire time, now you just called it Boris.
Okay, Boris.
Suddenly you know.
I just named it Boris.
So, you guys take the Duro body off of the bear before it disappears, and pretty much as soon as you do, though, it was barely enough time, as then the bear just starts becoming those little orbs of energy that then just disappear back into the environment around you, into the mine walls, into the ground, and Boris the bear is back in the plane of the earth.
Wherever he goes.
So, 3 hours in. Alright, so this is the area where you guys are currently are. Do you want to keep pushing forward? Do you want to drag Duro's body? Do you want to tie it back to Toma? What do you want to do?
I'll carry it.
Alright, so we'll keep using the 22 we had previously. Duro's strapped back to your body, and you guys start traveling forward.
Do you think it'd be easier dragging him?
Well,
No. I'm not willing to try.
couldn't more of us help you if?
Technically, you can help me by
Would
just
that-
standing beside me and we can sling him over both of us.
True.
Alright. Let's do that. Everybody get in formation.
We got 2 people now helping to carry the guy.
Alright, so now you will have to re-roll the tie check. So who's helping carry? Doma and...
What is everybody's strength?
Not Roderick.
I can help then. I'll help.
Alright.
Leave me alone.
So Evelyn with
Unless
her...
Anniel's better than me, then I'll let her. But I don't know what she's got.
I can take some of the gear probably. I don't know if I...
Yeah, let's do some of that. Let's lighten that up.
So she takes, like the bag basically, and it's actually kind of a considerable weight, and she's like, ugh! She like puts the bag in the back. It's probably got a good 50 or 60 pounds in that bag. And then that makes it immediately like easier for you, Doma, and then Evelyn's going to take the feet of Duro, I guess, is what she's doing. Are you guys going to like try to make a...
Are we like? I'm thinking like Weekend at Bernie's, like 1 arm over each of us. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, what are you doing here? So previously he was tied around your waist to your back, his back to your back, right? And now...
We simply put a rope around each arm and then hold it around our shoulders. Each of us.
Alright.
So I guess his feet won't drag because he's so short. Okay, yeah,
Exactly.
good point. Yeah.
Don't you try and make us drag this dwarf, he's tiny.
Wait, if you guys did revive him, he's missing like both his feet because they've been eroded away from walking. Alright, so who wants to do the tie check?
Not me.
I'll continue again.
Alright, you do not get advantage on this check because Evelyn is one of the participants.
Oh.
Anniel can help him.
Anniel can help him? What?
Ooh.
Yeah.
You're gonna nominate the NPC for me? Well, thank you, sir. He's not getting it now. You can roll 1d20.
Alright, let's see.
Anniel, do you want to help? That's what I was
Don't
gonna
even,
ask.
Doma, don't even. Alright.
It's okay, 19.
19. Alright, so you
What a guy.
you tie a reasonable, decent, another pseudo, not even a backpack now. What would I even call? Kool-Aid
He's just
pouch.
slung over our
He's
shoulders.
from a city on the ocean. He knows how to tie knots. Come
Yeah,
on.
alright. So, anyways, Duro is strapped around you guys.
Apparently.
You guys keep moving forward. This is substantially
Boy
better
Scout.
for you, Doma. You are still a little winded from your previous exertion from the previous day, but you guys persevere. Alright. 5 hours later, you finally see a sharp bend in the road. And at this point, you guys, having no other route to take, you start taking this sharp bend in the road. So after 8 hours of traveling, you finally hit a bend in the road. And you guys have taken a couple of intermediate breaks here and there, but you keep pushing forward, and eventually you find that the tunnel you're in starts getting more and more natural, and less of like a tunnel, and more of it seems like kind of like a crack in the wall. And eventually, in front of you, you just see about 60 feet forward, because you're technically it's 40 feet, but 60 feet forward, you see the cave itself ends, the tunnel ends, and there's some kind of inner expanse past it, but you don't see any reflection of light past that point, but you do know the tunnel has ended. And you guys creep your way forward to the edge of this tunnel, and you stare out in front of you. Did I?
Did you?
Did I didn't. Okay, I have to remember it off head then. Okay. So, in front of you, as you guys make your way to the edge of this, and don't leave, but you look out to the environment in front of you, you see buildings about 150 feet in front of you, to the left and to the right. Stone-based dwellings. Lots of them. There seems to be a whole town that's built right at the edge of this mine shaft. And it looks like a really sizable town, in fact. You guys kind of start like trying to count what you can, and unfortunately your light doesn't really get very far. But you can tell that there's at least 15 or so buildings within view of you right now.
But there's no light coming from ahead of us.
There's no light in the village in front of you.
No creepy spider webs on the ceiling.
You look up to the ceiling, which is about 10 feet above you right now, as it kind of became more of a natural expanse, and there's no spider webs above you.
That's a good sign.
I'm not liking this.
Yeah.
Looking at the ground, is there like any foot paths, or is it like dusty looking? Like
Survival
what is
check.
The... 11.
11. As you like look down, you can tell this path was used. It was a previously used path, but does not seem to have any recent foot traffic that stands out. You guys kind of listen out there, and you're not really hearing much. This is really quiet. You don't hear people talking or speaking. It's a quiet stone building dwelling town in front of you.
I guess our best move is to keep going forward.
Yeah.
All
Start
right.
walking out there.
So you start walking forward. Now you're pushing, like that 8-hour mark of walking. So you could go another 2 to 3 hours before you probably should be considering another long rest. And as you start moving forward, you recognize the path that you're on, basically from the cave, immediately merges to a stone road path, effectively in front of you. But the stones on the road seem to be really aged, and it does not look like the road has been maintained in a very long time. As you guys start traveling forward into this town, and you're starting to get more about, a couple minutes in, you notice there's a lot of mad dwellings. There was 15 dwellings within line of sight of just the entrance of entrance/exit of the mines. But you can recognize there's probably a good 100 buildings in this town. Potentially, is what your current math is supporting. And you go about 3 to 5 minutes forward, and you're still not even into the center of the town, and then you see to your left this what appears to be just some kind of severe fissure just ruptured right along the edge of your vision, and you just see buildings as if they've been like torn asunder by some kind of huge amount of earth that was moved at some point. You can see the signs of it. You can't see the full fissure to fullity, but you do see that it's existing to your left. You also see several, at least one. Yeah, you see a couple more prominent buildings to your right. Buildings that don't just look like your typical dwarf dwelling. There's one 2-story building that seems to have some sort of bell tower at the top of it. There is another building that appears to be just a very large tower on its own, just some kind of potential watchtower. And then there's a third building that's further down that appears to be that more of like a manor. It's a 2-story building. Most of these buildings are only 1 story tall, but there's a 2-story building that's further down the road, and it looks like it's kind of got a wide, much larger real estate. So you figure it probably belonged to someone who had wealth. And those are currently within field of view for you.
Should we look around? Should we keep going? What do you guys want to do? We could maybe rest here tonight if we want to look around.
We should definitely rest here tonight. Let's find a place so we can place Duro for a little bit.
What about the thing with the bell?
The tower, the bell tower?
Is it connected to something like a church or something, Lars?
Make a perception check.
Perception minus 113.
13. So, you get the idea that that probably is a religious building.
Can I tell the what?
You get the idea that it is a religious building, but of what type? No, you have no idea what deity it's related to.
Alright.
These buildings are kind of at the edge of your vision. You can see them as like your light kind of bounces off other structures, and you see these larger, more like bigger silhouettes around you. So you can't really see the full detail, but so like that building is a good probably 70, almost 80 feet away, and you're just getting images of it, and it's to the right.
Right.
The giant tower that you saw, it's only a good maybe 25 feet tall, and it's over to the right as well. It's actually more back the way you came, so it's kind of more towards the mine shaft itself, but it's actually off in a corner. So I guess I should start drawing some of this to help illustrate. So here's the mine shaft, right? And you guys had this little path that you kind of walked on that just winded its way through, and then roughly around, let's just say, Aniel's the group right now, right? Roughly around here is when you started seeing this giant like signs of a fissure. Over here, and you saw buildings being damaged pretty badly right there. Back in this area is where you see the tower. So we'll make a rook. It's kind of in the corner.
Okay.
Somewhere down here
It's 2-story.
is the church. It's actually a 2-story church. And you do get the indication of that manor-like building back here. That's kind of what you see. And your guys are currently right here on the path, not where your tokens are.
Do you want to maybe leave him in the church then, Domo? Is that what you're thinking?
I was thinking that churches are usually, if we don't want to step on anyone's toes,
Yeah.
if there is anyone here, they usually offer places to stay for travelers. Even if there's no people, if you don't want to intrude to someone's random home. I was just kind of thinking that was a good place to start.
Let's do that. Let's make our way there.
Okay. So the group, you guys continue going forward. Takes you a minute or so to get almost what appears now to be at the center of the town square. The road actually splits off a bit, kind of becomes a little bit wider, and you see that it doesn't. There's a couple of routes that kind of go off to the side, but these routes don't seem to be actually main road. They're smaller, so it looks like it's more meant for like foot traffic and people to get into probably residential area, which is off towards potentially where this fissure is. You do see that the big road though does actually continue past the church in a straight line, going in that direction it is. And
Is there
to
any
your
indication what caused the fissure?
you would
As
have
we
to
walk past
you'd
it?
have to go explore it. You guys didn't
Alright.
actually move your way over there. There's buildings blocking your view to a degree.
Yeah.
You could just see
Okay.
this huge upheaval. So you would actually have to move yourselves out there and investigate it.
Let's get Duro situated. All right.
So to your right, though, like here at the center is this giant bell church, basically, like a church with like a bell tower in it, 2 stories tall, and then it looks like the bell tower itself actually pushes it to 3 stories. And you notice that to the left of the entrance from where you guys are right now, so down here, there appears to be a fenced-off area with a bunch of graves. And
A gravekeeper.
as you guys look to your left, you see a figure, a silhouette. You see a tall figure standing around 6 feet 7 inches. Snow white fur covering the creature's body with dashes of black stripes running throughout it. The fur appears short, and near the head it becomes more grown. Its back has what looks like to be scarring across it. Let's see. And that scarring actually seems to make that of a shape. Appears to be some sort of tree. You see many roots running down the back, and you see a large trunk above them. Branches going out in many different directions, reaching upwards, and eventually forming sets of leaves at the end of each branch. The creature's clothing is not a lot, little at best. And various leather like sashes and such are kind of sewn across its body, making set of covering potential more choice bits. And then you do see there is a larger piece of red cloth hanging from its left side. A long tail sways idly as this creature that seems to have ears on the top of it talks to a very pale, translucent dwarf in front of it. And you guys are currently seeing this down in the cemetery area.
I gently put Doro down, if everyone agrees to it.
Would Roger have any idea what the heck
Yeah, what the heck?
is that are?
What it is, so you can make...
What a what?
So from your current perception, you could roll a perception check to get more information. You could make a nature check to
Can
try
I
to
do that?
deduce what it is. It's... What you're...
Perception.
It
I do
sounded like you just
perception?
want to do a nature check is what you wanted to do.
That's fine too. I just rolled, and if it's a nature, that's 20
20?
natural.
20 natural for your nature check.
Unnatural.
Unnatural. You've heard of these kind of creatures. As you kind of like look at it, and you make a couple steps closer to it. It doesn't seem that it has noticed you just yet, as it's kind of actually see it like gesticulating with arms, that it seems to be deep in conversation with whatever this pale dwarf in front of it. The creature appears to have cat ears, and these stripes kind of look similar to that of maybe a tiger of some sorts. And you go, wait, that looks like a tabaxi. But a tabaxi in the Medan Mountains? Why would there be a tabaxi in the mountains? But here there is. A tabaxi currently talking with this very pale, almost translucent dwarf in front of it.
Like a ghost?
You can make an Arcana check.
What?
Anyone?
21. That meets the requirements of what you would be considering a ghost. Yeah, absolutely. A spirit-bound entity. You like look down to where its feet are, and they're not necessarily touching the ground. They're slightly levitating.
Whatever he is, I think he's talking to a ghost.
At this moment, you hear some of the language being spoken. It's very, very harsh and abrupt. Now, I know only one of you actually speaks Dwarven, so Roderick, you do hear it. But everyone else doesn't speak Dwarven. I mean, you all hear it, but you don't know what they're saying. So Roderick, you understand what they're speaking. I want to thank you for at least trying to help me.
Well, it is what anyone would do. And whenever I head back to Karat, I will make sure that I look.
Wait, what's that? And then he like looks towards the rest of you and the dwarf. And he starts waving towards them. Look, over there! People!
Roderick would
We-
wave back.
We mean no harm.
But from Evelyn's and Anniel and Noma's perspective, you just see a dwarf suddenly point, wave, and you hear him like, Kasith! Hajik!
I wave back? Question mark?
We're okay.
The figure would turn and like its tail would become like really abruptly straightened, and he would get into like a lower stance as he makes eye contact with you all.
Roderick?
There's no need for alarm. We're travelers.
Do you speak common?
How are you all out here?
We came from Medan.
Can I make an insight check?
Absolutely.
We're lying through our teeth.
We
We came from Westwind.
16.
16?
22.
Your character thinks they're telling the truth. You're not seeing signs of lying. And based on the positioning of where they did come from a route that was once considered a route that went to Medan. There also are a bunch of races that you haven't really seen. The woman with the wings, by far, you've never recognized that. You have seen elves, but they don't look as healthy as these two elves. These elves look like they have much more color in their skin. And the red-tinted horn man that has the devil tail, that seems very foreign to you and kind of puts you off a bit. So there's
He's like, oh shit.
there's some definite like, what the fuck are these? I've never seen this shit before. And being the kind of character you are, you think you've gotten a pretty good read of most of the inhabitants on this side of the mines.
That creature would just stand there looking over you all, judging you.
I feel
Are there
judged.
more?
Maybe you all could help me.
Help you with what?
Help him.
And you see like the ghost like tries to move closer to you, but as soon as he gets to about like 10 feet away from where he is, he just suddenly reappears back to where he was before. And he like looks down and you see kind of like it's like his hands get really clenched and he gets frustrated. I'm sorry, could you come closer, please?
Can we
Sure.
approach? Or
Let's
you-
let's go closer.
All right, and you guys get closer.
Duro, meet dead Duro.
So I know that we are at that 3-hour mark, Roderick. Right? You have to.
You have to go, don't you?
Yeah.
You can go if we need to, yeah.
Yeah. So, with that, we will end tonight's session here. This is far earlier than we normally do it, but Roderick has a little shindig to do. So, boot earned to you, Roderick. This would be almost 2 weeks in a row we almost didn't play. But we did play, and you guys have met a tabaxi, a ghost, and you made it to the other side of the mines.
Taxi ghost. Yeah.
The place Laris never thought we would
Congratulations.
reach.
Congratulations. All right. So that is where we'll be ending tonight. So next Friday, because nothing is going to happen next Friday. We're going to play, right, guys? Friday. Next Friday.
Actually, I may maybe get my tooth pulled. No, I'm just kidding.
I swear
So,
to God, I will.
If that happens to be a Friday.
next
I
Friday,
will hunt you down.
5:30 p.m. PST. I know it is so early, but Roderick has to go, and so we're going to be losing a party member, and I don't want to keep going without the full party here. I felt so bad with Duro. Anyways, this is where we're gonna end. So, next week, show up, please. Your support is greatly appreciated. And that's it. We're set. Everyone have a great night, a great weekend, and we will see you hopefully next Friday.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. See you next week.